All right. How's everybody doing? Welcome to AES, huh? Everybody excited? Yep. I got to tell you, we're kind of fired up here. We're excited about a lot of things. Number one, the Giants. You got to give the Giants a round of applause. Yeah.
That's always about sports at AVID.
Fear the beard. You got to fear the beard. My name is Brian Carter. This is Gil Gowing. This is Sean Halley. And like I said, we're excited because we get to talk to you about something really special today. Kind of once in a generation that you get to talk about something that really will change, hopefully, a generation. Here's what I mean. Look at this, the next generation of Pro Tools. Now, it's been out on the web, so you guys hopefully have been hearing about it. There's been rumors out in the past. What's the next generation of Pro Tools? Is it going to be this? Is it going to be that? Well, we're going to talk to you and show you it today. And also, you're going to hear this word a lot as you go around the booth. Openness. What does that mean? That's kind of esoteric. We'll explain that as we go along as well. So let's get into it. What are we talking about? Number one, next generation of Pro Tools. Setting a new standard. Standard, remember that word. Let me just ask this question. What if there was no more Pro Tools LE? Nah, that couldn't happen, no way. Or better yet, what if Pro Tools didn't care what hardware you were using? Or you could even use it with no hardware. That couldn't happen, right?
Crazy talk.
That's crazy talk.
Go crazy man.
But what if it was all true? Wow, that could be kind of offer you guys a lot more choice, don't you think? Maybe a lot more flexibility in how you work and how you try to get your projects done. So that's what we're going to talk to you about with the next generation of Pro Tools. And as we'll go through it throughout the presentation. But also there's some stunning new features that hopefully you'll really get a chance to hear and see, especially as you go around to the other pods. But with that said, Sean, let's dig into the meat of this. You ready?
Well, I imagine that when you saw the thing, it said, what if Pro Tools didn't care what hardware was connected? I imagine if you're already a Pro Tools user, it might change the way you might think about working in your current workflow. For me personally, what I love about the new version of Pro Tools 9 is that I no longer have to have a separate sketchpad and a separate production environment. What that means is, for me personally, I don't have to have my laptop with a separate piece of software in my office just to capture an idea. I can sing into my laptop speaker with Pro Tools 9. So what we're talking about here is this is a new feature of Pro Tools 9. There's no longer Pro Tools LE, there's no longer Pro Tools Empowered, you have Pro Tools 9, a single installer for all of the software. You're talking about automatic delay compensation in every version of Pro Tools, even if it's running without hardware. You're talking about 32 channels of I/O support, 96 audio tracks. Basically, we took all of the features that were inside of Music Production Toolkit and DV Toolkit 2 and included them in the cost of Pro Tools 9 for free. Pretty cool, right? So basically, all of the stuff you used to have to pay a rather large amount of money for is now included for free inside of the Pro Tools 9 installer. So what we're going to be doing today is we're going to simulate and work on a song. We're going to simulate the way that you might actually do it in the real world. We're going to sort of scale it. The idea behind Pro Tools 9 is that you get to choose when you need more hardware, right? So at first, we're going to start this off. We're going to do the whole demo today on my laptop right here. So Brian has a laptop in front of him. All it's really doing is just allowing him to talk to mine. He's just sort of dialing in with screen sharing. So this entire demo is going to be run off of this laptop. As we need more capability, as we need more features inside of what we're trying to do in our production, we're going to be adding more hardware as we go along, but we're going to be starting right off the bat with Pro Tools Aggregate I/O. We're going to start using Pro Tools with core audio right off the bat. We're going to start working on a song. So Brian's got, you've got a little song idea over there? What are we going to do?
I do. I have an idea in my head. I'm thinking maybe we'll just kind of write from scratch in front of everybody. This is always fun to do. So you guys are going to see the famous underbelly of writing music, right? So what you really need is tools. Now, Sean said automatically we're starting with Pro Tools core audio. So we're going to start basically a laptop. And, of course, we're going to use some of these virtual instruments. Some of them are included with Pro Tools, and others, like this one, are part of the Pro Tools Instrument Expansion Pack. We'll talk to you about that in a little bit. This one is called Transfuser. And what we could do, Sean, I know you like to do this as well. Usually when we start, we hear this sound. That's the sound of a click.
It's pretty inspiring.
It really makes you feel like I feel like writing now. I'm going to write a hit. So instead of starting that way, I never like that. This is where Transfuser will come in for me. Number one, it includes about 4 gigabytes of loops and samples and beats and ideas to really get you going. So quickly, I'm just going to go in, and I found a few percussion sounds that I can use just to kind of, so I don't have to just hear a click for one. Now, one of the nice things about Transfuser is also, watch this, we'll just put Pro Tools in play. Just kind of let it play around for a minute. There's that crazy click. Now I can audition these sounds. They automatically will audition in time or whatever my session tempo is. That's nice. But also I can just take them, drag them, and drop them into Transfuser, and they automatically play in time. So no extra work needed. Again, I'm just concentrating on maybe what song we want to write. Let's grab something else. Sean, I know you like to usually hear tambourine too,
And
right?
I like Hindu stuff too. You got some Hindu
I've
music?
got some Hindu tracks. We'll bring
Good,
those up in
good.
a minute.
Cool.
Let me turn on our nice little tambourine part. So now we can lose that click. Let's do that. And then we can kind of start to write to maybe just something more percussive, okay? So here's how we'll start. We've got that in there. Now let's take this to round 2. Now, Gil, I know you're a big fan of this particular instrument. This is Velvet.
That's a cool one.
Velvet is it models those early Rhodes keyboards. Now, I've got something in here, kind of basic right now. Now, what we can do with Velvet, first of all, we have a ton of effects. So let's bring these effects in. Gil, you kind of program these effects. Add a little bit of delay.
Yep.
I know you got some reverb in here, a cabinet, maybe even a little bit of modulation.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of really start to customize the patch and hopefully inspire us to write a hit. So I'm going to go for it. I'm going to just put some chords in here, Sean. You're going to have to, I'm going to hand it off from here.
So,
Good luck to you.
so I'm going to have to write some words or something?
You have to do something to
Nice.
this. Good luck, my
About
friend.
that, yeah.
Nice. All right, I better start thinking about my lyrics.
Start thinking about lyrics as we
Busting
go.
my lyrics down
We're going to turn the click on. We're going to have a little bit of a count off. Let's go for this. In E, by the way. Keep it kind of simple. You feeling that?
I think so, yeah. Oh, there you go. All right.
Okay, so now this should just
All right,
loop
Phil.
around, and we've got our basic little part, right? Let's take that click off again, because that's a little bit annoying. We'll drop Pro Tools out of record. And my friend, it's in your hands now. You've got to come up with something
All right. Okay.
around
So
that.
here's the thing. Traditionally, if you're talking about working with a sketch pad, I mentioned my sketch pad when I'm writing music first. If I wanted to record a vocal, I'd have to have a microphone, and I'd have to have a mic preamp, and I'd have to probably have some sort of channel strip to get myself ideas inside my software. Well, however, because we're running Pro Tools and Core Audio, ladies and gentlemen, just tap around your laptop. There's the microphone. There it is. So you got control of it, Brian. So I'm going to, anytime you're recording a top quality vocal, you want to make sure you always got a pop screen. So I'm going to hold my pop screen in front of myself while I sing my vocal. So
A little bit of a count off, Sean, and then it's on you, my friend.
I'm smelling something. Ryan needs to know where.
It wasn't me, believe me, I didn't.
I had Starbucks this morning. A lot of dudes in line with some practice and some wine.
Nice. So now we got our vocals in there. Nicely done.
Thank you. Thank you. Worked very hard on them. They're very. So the main thing to get out of this, though, is that it's a sketch pad. Obviously, it's a stupid example, but as a sketch pad, it makes more sense that I don't have to worry about at the moment. I haven't had to add any sort of capability because it does everything I needed to do right now. We use virtual instruments, we used a mic. However, now we're going to add guitars, and that means that I need to add to my capability. I don't want to plug my guitar directly into the laptop, right? So I want to start adding capability, utilizing sort of different pieces of hardware. So check this out. If I go up to the playback engine, what if I just said, hey, you know what, do me a favor, use the 11 rack. Now, what I've just done is I've told Pro Tools, on the fly, do me a favor, ignore what's going on with Core Audio right now, and do me a favor, use my 11 rack down here as my Pro Tools interface. So that means that now the I/O setup will wake up. It means that all of the sort of the interface will wake up, and now I have the ability to control not only my 11 rack, but also use the audio circuits inside there to get my guitar sounds, right? So I've needed more hardware. I've needed more. side by side.
Again, and since we added Yukon support in Pro Tools 9, now I can really take advantage of these great Artist Series controllers. Not just Artist Series, we'll talk about the others later. But in this case, I'm staring in front of the MC control. It's beautiful. Obviously I have control of faders and mutes and pans and plugins, but the true power is inside of this beautiful touch screen right here. Inside of the touch screen, I can get to locates, I can get to edit windows, I can get to anything that's going on inside of Pro Tools is here, as well as macros. So if there's a particular way you want to work, you can easily set it up and store it as a macro as well. Kerry, one of our brethren here, he talks about he's programmed a macro so that it will actually make a quad latte for him. Yes, you can do that all inside of the Surface. But more importantly, it gives you a lot of hands-on control. And that's really what this is about.
So if you need more features than what Pro Tools 9 has out of the box, you can add Pro Tools 9 Complete Production Toolkit 2. Now what this does, and this is pretty exciting as well, basically takes all those software features that were basically only in Pro Tools HD, way over there, and that's what I want to be at, and brings it down into everything we've been talking about so far with the new Pro Tools 9, brings all those features. So you up your track count, 192 audio tracks, full surround support, including the new 7.1 DTS for Blu-ray, and all the advanced automation features that the HD guys have had, preview, auto match, capture, all those things, VCA masters, and even including Icon support. Use your Pro Tools on a laptop with Icon. Very cool combination.
But what if you want more? What if you want more power than that?
But if you even need more power than that, we can step it up. Pro Tools HD Native. We've just recently released this new hardware platform, basically taking the power of Pro Tools HD and putting it in a native solution. What that means is you're going to get all those great things that you wanted with Pro Tools HD. Ultra low latencies, down to 32 samples, the ability to have satellite support, being able to lock more systems together, which we actually do a lot of that, and we'll actually do that here in a minute. Yeah, talk a bit about that. More channels of I/O, up to 64 channels of I/O, and using our new HD interface solutions for really great sounding quality audio. So HD I/O, we've got the HD Omni, which is our favorite up here. We're using that quite extensively today, as well as HD Matty. So a lot of great choices there. And then on top of that, we talked about the artist control. You also get, with Yukon support in Pro Tools 9, you're also getting support for the bigger Euphonics consoles to work as control surfaces too. And that's what we're about to do now. We're now switching into, on this laptop still, we're using an actual HD native system hooked up to this little Magma expansion chassis. And now we've switched over control to the System 5 MC. So you've got a scalable solution here from 8 to 48 faders, 8 touch-sensitive knobs, beautiful high-resolution TFT screens for your metering and really see what's going on, full track names. Basically anything you want to do to control your system right here in the middle. And that's kind of what we're going to do now. We're going to switch gears, and we're going to do a little tracking. Is that right, Brian?
I think so. We'll go ahead and jump over to Pro Tools again.
All right.
All right. Just made it.